Hey, on the behalf of former Gator players and Gators everywhere, we want to welcome Dan Mullen as our new coach here at the University of Florida. Obviously, with his success at Mississippi State and plus his time here with Urban Meyer and the championships that they had here, he is well prepared to get us back into one of the top 10 programs in the country and competing for SEC championships. So, Dan, we're happy to have you back to the University of Florida.
Yeah, that was the old ball coach.
Dan.
Dropping some Dans on Dan Mullen. This is Dan Mullen's record in Starkville. Pretty good. 7 bowl trips. Leaving another bowl trip behind this year. So we're about to talk to him, Laura.
Can't wait. Breaking interview here.
Exactly.
Oh, are we still a minute 40 away?
Yeah,
I thought we were going to it right
No,
now.
I saw
why
that.
You were stalling for time.
I saw that look in your eye like, what's going on here?
Well, I give you that look often because I, frankly, don't always know what's going on here. But anyway, well, what are you going to ask him?
Yeah, I always ask the generic, well, how's it going, coach? And we'll leave the heavy stuff for you.
Oh, all right. Well, so what should the heavy stuff be? What do you think I should do?
I would really like to know a lot about his last couple of days, but
I care about that too. I think we will ask him that, but then we'll move on.
Yeah, no, I think that's since he's probably watching now, maybe.
I love it. Coach Mullen is totally listening to us right now. We're giving him all the inside scoop about what's coming his way.
So what people don't understand is when you do this stuff on TV, you always talk to the person before, so you make sure that they can hear, so they are listening.
No, he can totally hear us.
And I tell you, I'm just going to ask him about the future. I'm not going to ask him anything about the last couple of days. Are you?
I am.
Okay.
You were trying to set me up there to be sneaky, but no, I'm an open book here. Anyway, I'm also going to ask him if he's gone to Satchel's Pizza yet, because that's a good spot in Gainesville.
How long was he there? A couple, 4 years?
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
We'll ask him that too.
He left with 1 year to go in Urban's train.
Yeah.
So he was there 4 years.
He knows Gainesville well.
I bet he knows all the hot
Vegas.
pizza parlors. Why are you laughing?
You're funny. Anyway.
Okay.
Let's get back to business.
Now we're going to get back to Coach Mullen. I know he's been listening, so no surprise here. Dan Mullen joining us. Coach, congratulations. And Laura was joking about you knowing the terrain down there, but you've been there before. I know you said it was great to get back. Talk about it.
It is. You know what? It's fantastic to be back here. And you know, you come back, you see all the different things, and you start having all the memories that you had from the great years we had here. You know, I got to spend 4 years here as to answer your question. I was hearing you guys before, so I was here for 4 years. We won 2 national championships in that time, and we had a great time. Megan and I living in here. And I left with a pregnant wife and my dog Heisman, and now I got an old dog Heisman, and I got a whole family I brought back with me.
That's cool. We did say, Coach, that we were going to ask you about the final couple days at Mississippi State, and we are going to move on to Florida. But just talk us through what that was like, because I know that team meant a lot to you, especially your quarterback, Nick Fitzgerald, and really just everybody there in Starkville.
Well, it did, you know, and you know, we played Thanksgiving night and after the game, and I know everybody knows what happened to Nick, and he had the surgery, and we were around the team, got to talk to people, and you know, Friday afternoon, it started getting a little bit crazy with the phones going crazy, and then you know, I thought I was going to be able to sit back, enjoy, watch some football games, have a nice Thanksgiving dinner, and it kind of kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier, and then finally Saturday afternoon, Scott Strickland, you know, I talked to him briefly on Friday, called back and said, hey, I'm ready to do this, you're our guy, and you know, and then it kind of progressed from there through the night and into the next morning.
Coach, I know some of this is private, but I am curious. The game ends. It's a very disappointing and emotional finish to the season based on what you said with Nick's injury. But how does all this happen when you start getting these phone calls? Is it your representative that calls? Do you start hearing from other people? What's it like?
Well, you know, one of the things I did is you know, I when people ask, I don't like talking to anybody during the season. I don't like the distraction. I was completely committed to trying to finish the season out and finish the right way. And so After the game Friday morning, my agent called and Jimmy Sexton called and said, you might be getting some phone calls today. And so I got a couple of phone calls, and he and I wowould discuss things and we'd talk it through, and we'd talk. You talk to different ADs. I think everybody thinks it's a different process than it is. I think it's you're getting to know people. You're getting to know, they're finding out about you. You're finding out about them. You're finding out where you're going to fit best, and they're finding out to make sure that you fit. And everybody's got to be comfortable, and everybody's got to be on the same page, because to have success in a program, you got to have unbelievable alignment from the administration through the entire coaching staff and the team and everybody, and that's what leads to success. And so that's the kind of the path you go down and figure out, and both from on both sides is this the relationship that we're going to have the alignment we need to be successful.
Coach, you talked in your introductory press conference about relentless intensity, and I know that's something that you had at Mississippi State as well. But when you talk about a team playing as tough as possible and being the toughest team on the field at all times, how do you create that culture at a place when you're coming in as a new head coach?
Well, you know what? I also in the team meeting, I didn't have a long team meeting with everybody today, but I told them they're going to get a little break at the end over the Christmas holidays, but I told them make sure they get rest, because that mindset's developed through the off-season program. So when they get back, they're going to go through the toughest off-season they've ever been through, and we're going to, from the strength staff to all of our assistant coaches, just demand that they push themselves and maximize themselves and push themselves to the limit every day to be the best you can be. I'm a big believer. I'll tell the guys, you don't have to be the best, but you have to be the best you can be. You have to give relentless effort at everything you do every single day, at whatever it is you're taking on. You got to be the best, whether you're going to class, whether you're in the weight room, whether you're in conditioning, whether you're on the practice field. All I'm going to demand from you is just your best effort. And if you give that, we're going to have the mindset to be a very tough physical team, and we're going to perform at a high level next season.
Coach, how strange is it? Your old boss and you are now reunited at a different place. I'm sure you haven't had much time to spend with Scott outside of the conversations, but this is interesting that Mississippi State now moves to Gainesville.
Well, you know what? The whole thing, I think, a lot of times is a new coach comes in and everybody's new. The whole, you don't even know where to go. Even though I have opened a wrong door or two today, still because it's been 9 years. But, when you walk around and you see people and you know people in the administration from the last time I was here at Florida, you know your way around the facilities and around town, and it just brings back memories. And then, you turn and you have an athletic director that you've worked with before and had a lot of success with before. It's probably been a very different first day here than a lot of new coaches have on their first day.
Coach, you're no stranger to the pressure of playing and coaching in the SEC, and obviously being in the SEC West, you faced a ton of tough opponents, but this is a different feel sometimes in Gainesville. A lot of people would say that the pressure there is greater than most places. How do you handle that?
You know what? I think the fact that I've been, I was here for 4 years as an offensive coordinator, and then 9 years as a head coach in the Southeastern Conference already. And, as y'all like to say on the network, we all say it just means more here. And,
boom.
I have an understanding of what that's all about. I trust me, after being here for 4 years and at Mississippi State for 9, I understand that it just means more and what that really means. And, so you know what to expect. You know what the pressures are. You know what the expectations are. I mean, Florida's the premier football program in America. They have a passionate fan base. And they expect to compete for championships every single year. And, anybody that knows me, I'm a competitor. I love to compete, and my expectations are that and maybe even exceed that of the fan base. So, when the pressure comes, I'm already putting that type of pressure on myself to win and to be successful with this program on and off the field.
Finally, Coach, I realize he's a professional baseball player and a broadcaster, but he was your quarterback in Gainesville, and I know how close friends you are with Tim Tebow. Is there any role, whether it's official or unofficial, for Tebow in your regime?
Yeah, I called him. I said, hey, you can give up all this great media life and this baseball celebrity, and I'll have you come coach with me if you want to come sit in the office early at morning till late at night. And he said, I think he's got. I think his reply was maybe down the road. He's got a couple more home runs to hit, and he loves his life on the network right now. But you know what? I told him I'm going to be calling on him a bunch, and I'm going to need him to take off the SEC network jacket and put on the Florida Gator outfit every once in a while to help us build this program back up.
That won't be difficult for him, I don't think.
He'll be fine doing that, Coach, I promise.
Congratulations again. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks. Great to be with you guys. Have a great day.
Coach.
Go Gators.